I got right down the rabbit hole preparing for this one, and I could have gone on forever, but I've just popped together my favorites for 2021, mainly because they're popular online, but they're also things that are easy to do, not too time consuming, but at the same time really fashionable. And if you're looking at selling or doing something with your home, they'll absolutely add value to your home. So here we go with our favorites. This has been rampaging all year, the trash to terracotta fad, this craze, which is DIY ceramic effect chalk paint. That's kind of the look that this gives. But exactly how you do this is you grab any of your old vases or jugs or anything that is a nice shape. So you're looking at the shape. You're actually not looking at what it's made out of. It can be glass. This goes really, really well on glass. You just need to do a little bit of a rough sand to etch the surface of the glass first. I totally love this look. This and the colors. I'll show you a few pictures of the different things that you can do, but I'm so in love with this. It's so easy. We live in this society where we get sick of the color or the look of something, and we just get sick of seeing it in our room. So we throw it out, when in actual fact, it's really cool to be able to paint something like this so simply and so easily and in minutes. I mean, the paint dries in about 15 or 20 minutes, and you can give it 2 coats if you need to, and then you're done. You're really done. So what this is you add a teaspoon of baking powder or bicarb soda. Now, bicarb soda will have a it'll have a grainy effect, but you'll see whatever's behind it through the bicarb soda mix, whereas baking powder is a lot thicker. So if you've got if you want to add that real textural appearance to something that is smooth like glass, then you might want to do the mix with baking powder. And if you've got something that already has texture to it and you want some of that texture to still appear through, then head to the bicarb soda. But really, so cheap, guys. You've got your sample pots of flat paint. It just can't be gloss, that's all, because obviously you want everything to look very matte and flat when it's finished. And then you just add a couple of teaspoons and stir it in until you're pleased with the thickness. Let it thicken up for a little while. The bicarb soda reacts with the water in this mix, but it's really easy to do, whereas the baking powder does not, but it's really easy to do. And this is not my idea. It's been all over the TV. There's videos on it by Geneva. So here are some of the things that she has demonstrated. I mean, Mum and I are running around at home at the moment, just grabbing everything that we're sick and tired of and putting them aside to do this. I really love the blend of shades right through from the deep terracottas to the whites to the off-whites, and just to have them all sitting side by side is fantastic. Mum has this thing for dusty pink in her house at the moment, so they're the colours that she'll lean towards, from the whites to the creams to the pale terracottas to the dusty pinks. So beautiful to do this with some dated old vases, give them a fresh appearance. You can pick things up from the thrift store, or you can just walk around your own house and have a look at the things that you would ordinarily be tossing out. Fantastic, love it. Look at all the colors. I mean, really, you're in charge of whatever color you use. It looks gorgeous in the black to really flatten out. That's been a glass jar. To have that flattened out, that matte appearance on black is so cool, so cool. And even things like lamps. If you've got a lamp base, when you go to Vinnie's and you have a look at some of the old lamps there, think about buying them, especially if they have to work, buying them and just painting over the bases with something like this, at the same time adding a new lamp shade, and you have something it's going to look pretty spectacular on your bedside. Just anything like trays, dishes, just in love. That'll be my Christmas project. Every time I see something, I'll be painting it in the trash to terracotta. Your old ball balls. That didn't sound very nice. You know what I mean? Your Christmas ball balls. Anything that you want to revamp. Look at that. A bird takes on a whole new look when you start to add this really beautiful texture, this matte texture that just goes so nicely with everything we've got around the house at the moment. So you could totally change the colorway of your Christmas tree just by doing this with stuff that you already have. All right, number 2 is revamping furniture. It's been a long time love of mine. Back in the day when hubby and I were completely broken up to our eyeballs in mortgage from probably over investing in property and struggling back in the day, especially when interest rates were really, really high, then we had no choice but to update furniture. Most of my furniture, in fact, all of my furniture, when we were first married, was secondhand. The neighbours used to put things out on council cleanup, and hubby and I were in there grabbing stuff left, right, and centre. I would take it home. I would scrub it clean. I would paint it. I would do something with it. And everybody would come to our house and say, this is a beautiful home, not realising how much stuff was actually secondhand. So there's so many clever things you can do. This here is an IKEA cupboard. And this person here has actually got a router and routed out these drawers. That's the before and that's the after. So, you know, obviously the finished product is routed all the way around. But this webbing and this weave, it's available on eBay. I saw some in Spotlight, but it's available very, very easily on eBay. It's cheap. If you start to cover, go to somewhere like Oz Design Furniture and have a really good look at some of their furniture and Freedom. You'll see, you know, that there's this webbing on top of ordinary drawers with a little bit of trim around it, which is really simple if you don't have the router to actually, you know, cut a hole in your drawers. So it's really easy to get that look. It doesn't take very long. It's something that I showed hubby and he said, yeah, that's no worries at all. So really exciting. And, you know, before you throw things out, have a look at perhaps being a little bit artistic with your colour and see the total difference that makes to that cupboard. So revamping furniture, 100% love it. Love it. It's how I like to spend my time off still. There's a cupboard upstairs that I have. Back in the day, it was blue with folk art on the doors. That was in 1989, I would say, 1990. Blue gloss, this dusty blue, like around about that blue there with the gloss, and my friend Jenny did folk art on the doors. Then what we did was rip out the little internal panels. Then we put some lattice. Hubby built me some lattice just with some bits and pieces from the hardware. We actually bought new strips from the hardware and he hand built some lattice for me. We popped in the doors. We painted it black and then did this mustardy colour crackle spray over the top. It was really, really rustic. I will actually do a blog, I think, on that actual one, on that one cupboard. That's taken me from 1989 right through today. It's upstairs to today. And then after that, we had a bit of a Hampton style house that we needed to sell. So I pulled out the lattice and we put some little louvers in there and painted it all white. So it took on this entire different appearance, Hampton style. Now I've got this Mediterranean thing going on. I'm not quite sure what I'll do with that cupboard, but I'll do something because I just love it. It's been handy and I kind of like the challenge of taking it through the ages. So decorative paints. When you're painting DIY, love, love, love chalk paint. And I think it's something that you need to consider. It sticks to just about anything straight off. There's very little preparation needed. It coats really, really well. Sometimes you can get away with one coat, particularly if it's like a white on a white and you just want the texture of the chalk paint. I also love Fusion Mineral Paints by Miss Mustard Seed. She's in the States, but they're now here in Australia and have been here for a couple of years, and there are quite a few people who specialise in running painting courses. So treat yourself for Christmas. If anybody's saying to you, what would you like for Christmas? Pick something crafty. Say, I would love to go and do a painting course at my local Annie Sloan stockist or Fusion Paint stockist, and just engage in another community of people who love doing this kind of stuff. The colours are beautiful. They are really on trend. And one thing about chalk paint, it's just so here and now because it's soft and it's matte. The thing that chalk paint disappoints people with the most is that if you don't wax it properly, or if you don't, I actually prefer to give it a really soft matte varnish. You can actually buy just a water-based coating that's clear and it still is not shiny. So I really like that as well. And I like it because it keeps the original flavour of the chalk paint, but it's much easier to wipe and clean. Even if you wax it really well, it still becomes difficult over time to wipe the dust off things. So love chalk paint. Probably not great on a dining room table. A girlfriend did it on a dining room table and I just felt it wasn't hardy enough for that kind of surface, but definitely for cupboards and stuff. Love it, love it, love it. Paint everything, ladies and gents, paint everything. All right, another one of my favorites, coffee or side tables. There is no reason to go and buy something that looks like this, that has this appearance, that I've seen them advertised for up near $3,000. All of these tables that have this look, not all of them, some of them. So Temple & Webster had one I looked at the other day. It was about $1,500. But hey, you can buy these drums from Kmart. They are $49 from Kmart in the oak look. You can go to Bunnings. You can get some dowel. You can have a look at all the different timber beads and trims and the half moons and all that kind of stuff. If you look at the Easy Craft range, they have some great decorative cladding, VJ and all the rest of it. If you look at the dowel and you just imagine what you'd like your final product to look at, it's basically just glue. Just glue them on and sand the top and give them a really nice paint to get that kind of finish. I just love these kind of projects. Here's another one. 3 tiles from Bunnings. Terrazzo tiles really aren't very expensive at all. And Terratine tiles as well. So not very expensive at all, right? Any kind of tile, any kind of really solid marble tile, that's going to be more expensive. But anything like that where you can just buy 3 of and you can just cut it down and glue them together. I mean, that's really, really beautiful. Really beautiful. And that's really popular. If you do 2 of those, less than $100 each for two of those is really nice. The other thing here is texture paint. I've used actually a Rust-Oleum spray, and I know that you can still get it on eBay, but I don't see it anymore at Bunnings in this texture coating. We had a plastic table that was an outdoor table that looked really, really tired. It was just scuffed. It was light cream. So we did the top in this kind of surface, just this texture spray. It lasted. It was fantastic out in the weather and everything. It was very, very hardy, very, very tough. It looked amazing. It just looked like a stone top table when in actual fact, it was a plastic table. And the reason I did it was because I didn't want to go and buy a new plastic table. Or I didn't even, the plastic table wasn't even that fancy. I just wanted to look better for friends and family to come and visit. So we'd used this product before. It was brilliant, really good. So think about what you've got already. Kmart, there's your barrel from Kmart, your stool. Now Bunnings are onto it straight away because they stock these. You'll see these in a bin in the aisle in Bunnings along with all of the bench tops. They know what's really popular and what's been selling. These are selling like hotcakes. So this is exactly what this person did. This hit the news. This is published in news.com.au. Chantel and Zach got together and decided they're going to get one of these. They're going to stick it on top of the round table or the round tabletop from Bunnings, buy 2 of those, stick it in between. And then they just bought dowel and just one by one, just glued them all the way around the edge like that. I mean, look at that. That just looks fantastic. And that's just a few $100s to do. And a little bit of patience and time. So love some of these ideas. Love, love, love. Art has always been one of my favorite DIYs. And textured art, we've got a couple of really big canvases here, blank canvases that we picked up. People were throwing them out, or a company was actually throwing them out. And I'm not an artist, but I can throw some plaster and some mixes that you can buy from craft shops to give some texture, and then smear some neutrals over the top. Stuff like this is really on trend at the moment. It doesn't have to say anything particular for it to look really nice on a wall. It can add texture to a very, very plain gyprock wall really simply, and takes a couple of hours to do. It's no big deal to do. It's cheap acrylic paint and some modeling paste and some neutral colors, or even some gyprock paste. So this is from For the Home blog. Jump on and have a look at some of these DIY things that these bloggers have. They're amazing. And I seriously struggled to finish these slides and stop reading everybody's amazing projects. So here you go. Here's DIY plaster. Same thing, canvas, and then just a smear of the plaster paste, the cornice paste. It comes in buckets already pre-made, and a tile glue. I should actually put the picture of it there. Raking tool, a tile glue raking tool, and you just rake it in arches. If you want that kind of look, which is really popular right now, and then put it on your wall. Done. Bingo. I just think that's fantastic. It's a great idea. It's just texture, which is in right now. And honestly, these things, if you get sick of them when you've only paid a few dollars and not thousands of dollars, you don't mind tossing things out when you're really done. This is our Christmas project at the moment. This is our table and chairs. Not a great photo, but we bought this from Barbecues Galore. It'd be 2013. What is it now? 2021, Christmas 21. And it had a wood look appearance, which became really faded. So then we just whacked a coat of paint on just to clean it up. Mostly I had tablecloths on anyway when I entertained, but it's really faded and old and jaded in the sun. So I've decided to tile the table. Brett put a really nice edging around the table, and we bought these tiles from Gitana Interiors. You'll catch them on Instagram. They don't have much going on in Facebook, but they have a lot going on in Instagram. They're handmade Spanish tiles. They were expensive. This tabletop probably will cost us about $800 all up. The tiles were $750. Brett comes for free. Thank you. Oh, he's watching. That's pretty funny. So yeah, Brett, men come for free. You just got to feed them and make them cups of tea. So this table, we've just got to do the grout. It's an epoxy grout we have to use because this table is going to be outside in the sun, and they get significant sun here. When we do up all of this area around here, our place is unrenovated at the moment, then I just am going to be so proud of this table and to entertain on this, and just to know it can sit out in the weather. It's going to last for a long, long time. And it saved us from buying a new outdoor setting. The chairs are in great condition. I might give them a touch-up paint with some rust protection paint just to keep them nice, like we did the little base there. I've actually done that base already. So yeah, the table will be finished, and I can't wait to see it. And it's just really, really nice to think that, we've got something bespoke. Nobody else will have that same kind of thing, and in love. So yeah, I'm a DIYer from a long time back. I think my love of renovating really came from doing a lot of DIY around the home with mum, and dad was forever converting old desktops into something that looked nice, changing colors in the room, changing knobs and handles on cupboards, and redoing the doors, revamping the drawers, all that kind of stuff, adding things to my wardrobe doors that were plain. That's how I grew up. So it's a natural thing for me to want to grab secondhand stuff and to continue to do it up. Probably not best use of my time. You think you're saving a few $100s here and there, when renovation, you can earn tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands, but it's something that I just felt very drawn to, and it's something that I like to do to relax. So yeah, I like the tiles. Thanks, Lauren. I think that they'll look beautiful. They're gorgeous close up. I think that even the pictures don't give them justice. They're absolutely beautiful. And they're very handmade, so everyone's a little bit different in size, which made it quite challenging to tile. But anyway, we got there in the end. So thanks everyone for joining in. Get into the DIY, go and visit some people's blogs. And if you want to speak to me, I'm available anytime. Mums and Dads Renovators and Decorators group, you can find stuff there for free about renovating, but I'm happy to chat. And I'm also happy to work out with people. And next week and the week after, I'll be talking a little bit about it running up to the end of the year, about what their roadmap is like for next year, what your renovation roadmap is like for next year, or your financial roadmap. Not that I'm a financial planner, disclaimer, but like, where are you heading and what do you think you need to do to improve your situation to retirement? If that involves renovating, if it involves revamping your home and raising the equity in somewhere that you already live, happy days, happy to support you. Thanks, guys. I'll see you next week. Tuesdays, 12 o'clock, New South Wales time. Bye, guys.